All right, so this station that you're at, the front carpet, is going to be the social studies station most of the time this year. Not every time, but most of the time. And what you're going to need to do is get this out of the task 1 basket, if you haven't already done so. A piece of construction paper, which is under that basket. Some scissors and some glue, and I can't remember which one is in what color little pail. There's a purple pail and a yellow pail on the bottom of the bookshelf. Glue is in one of them, scissors is in the other, and we're going to cut and paste. So, while we're cutting and pasting, I want you to listen to a few things you need to know about this center. First is, I understand this video. You could skip ahead, you could turn me down, you could ignore what I'm saying completely and just write down what it is you see on the screen. So as you can see here, I have cut out the first thing. And now I'm going to cut out these. But don't skip ahead. Don't do those things because there will be rewards, prizes, based on whether you've watched it or not. And I will know whether you've watched it or not because I have little tricks embedded in all the videos. And I'm going to know who's watched it and who hasn't. And those who haven't watched it will not get the little prizes. So I've already started to try to cut this out very precisely and I'm going to give up. So I'm just going to cut around like this and paste it down. I don't have the time nor the patience for that level of precision cutting. Alright, so I'm going to put this one on the bottom, this one on the top. But what they want is for this to be a flat. So we're going to want to put glue just under the top of the clipboard. See how this is like a make-believe clipboard? I want to put the glue on the other side of this. So I'm going to get my glue sticks, which I have amazing glue sticks. They have that scented stuff inside of it. So this is a watermelon glue stick. Gotta smell it. Yes, it's incredible. Alright, so I'm just putting my glue right at the top. And I'm going to paste it down so I can write underneath. This one we don't have to write underneath anything, so I'm just going to put the glue all over the back and paste it down. Alright, so if you need to pause the video to catch up for your gluing and all of that, you can do so at any time. You can pause. If I'm talking too fast or if you can't keep up with the writing, do pause and just hit play again when you're ready to keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and start these notes. Start with the what is culture? Culture is one of those things that is really hard to define. But what we're going to write here is culture is the way of life for a group of people. It's the way a certain group of people does things. There's an American culture. There are things about Americans, like when I'm traveling abroad, they know I'm American. Before I even say anything, the way I dress, what I order to eat, that I request ice in my drink, they know that I'm American because in American culture we put ice in drinks and we dress a certain way. And that's true for places all around the world. They have their own ways of doing things too. Alright, we're going to flip the flap up and we're going to write down some examples of culture. One of the ones that is the most obvious is language. And that could be like English, like we speak, Spanish, French, Okay, culture also includes beliefs, like religions. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, all of those are types of religions, and that's part of a culture. For example, in Russia, most Russians belong to the Russian Orthodox Church, and that is their religion, and they have certain beliefs, and they have certain practices in their church that are unique to that religion within Christianity. Okay. Moving right along, customs. Okay. This would be clothing. There are parts of the world that have very distinct and unique types of clothing that are very different from ours, and that's part of their culture. And our type of clothing is part of our culture. Marriage ceremonies. Okay, marriage can be different from culture to culture. What happens when they get married, when people should get married, those are different when you go to different places, and they have a different culture from your own. Food, that's a big one. American culture, it's hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, pizza. When I was in Central Europe, I saw things on the menu that I was like, oh no, where are the hamburgers? Because I'm from this culture and that's what I like to eat. But people over there, they like different types of food because that's what they've grown up with and have been exposed to all their lives. Let's do the last one, entertainment. Oops, look at me spelling it wrong. Actually, I just skipped a letter. Going too fast. Entertainment. So what a culture finds to be entertaining can be different from place to place as well. Styles of art can be different. Music, dance, sports. In South America, in Europe, soccer is really, really popular. Here it's not nearly as popular. Our popular sport is American football, which in other places they call soccer football. But for us, it's the one that people are tackling each other and running from one end of the field to the other to score touchdowns. So, sports, what's considered a popular sport and the sports people want to go and see can differ by culture. Which is going to lead us into the early North American, the continent, the people that lived here, the geography. We're going to talk about all of those things. And the early North Americans, the Native Americans, they had cultures of their own. And as we start talking about the different ones over the next few weeks, we will learn about those different cultures. But for today, we're going to talk about, well, how did the early North Americans, the Native Americans, get here? Some people think they always lived here. That's what they mean by theory. Theory means an idea to explain something. So some people think the Native Americans always lived here. Other people think they came over by boat. And finally, other people think they crossed a land bridge, which I think is the most popular theory. Most people that I know of think this is how the Native Americans got here, that they came from Asia and they crossed over a land bridge, that North America and Asia were once connected and they just walked right on over. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for today's notes. There is not going to be a prize today because this is the first set of notes and we're just getting used to all of this. And what I want you to do is make sure your name is on it. I don't want to play guess the student. So I'm going to put my name, and then you're going to turn this in to the turn-in bin at the front carpet. And the second task, like it says on the projector, is that you need to go on to Lizard Point. So for the remainder of this station, you're going to work on studying Lizard Point.